Discover the story only your DNA can tell. Order your kit now at AncestryDNA.com.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus, every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News.
So the Secretary of Homeland Security was up on Capitol Hill answering questions from U.S. senators yesterday, and it was contentious. It was learned, and this was interesting, when queried a number of times about the use of the president's language earlier on Thursday, where he made some comments that have angered a lot of people. She revealed that there were a number of people in that room using the same kind of language.
That's right. Her name is Kirstjen Nielsen, and she was there to talk about the threats that our country faces as the DHS secretary. Well, Cory Booker, who's a senator who sits on the Judiciary Committee, was in the room, and he wanted to question her. There were 5 senators that questioned her, 5 Democrats, about the president's language last week when he was talking about other countries. Instead of talking about border security, he wanted to question her about that and really yell at her about that. Listen to this.
The commander-in-chief, in an Oval Office meeting, referring to people from African countries and Haitians with the most vile and vulgar language. The language festers. When ignorance and bigotry is allied with power, it is a dangerous force in our country. Your silence and your amnesia is complicity.
And he was angry because she said she didn't remember the president saying it.
Almost every Democratic senator wanted to know what went on in that meeting. We weren't talking at all about immigration reform or border security or what she needed. Stephen writes this about Cory Booker's reaction. Keep in mind, he's running for president, and he did the same thing. He grandstanded with Senator Sessions. All of a sudden wasn't acceptable to be attorney general. He said this: I was not sure if he was auditioning for SNL or Shakespeare in the Park, but the one thing he was most definitely not auditioning for was the part of a U.S. senator.
Sorry, that's pretty funny. Shakespeare in the Park.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. So Max emailed, his display shows what is wrong in politics today. We want to hear solutions to problems, not partisan banter.
And then Ron said, and he demands respect for others, theatrical showboating at the expense of a very respectful woman. I can understand if he has a problem with what the president allegedly said, if he said it, and then you talk to the president about it. But look at this picture. I mean, that's what he was doing to the lady who is the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Well, he had questions, and she didn't answer them to his liking, apparently.
I know, keep emailing us. That was pretty funny.
All right. 8:20 now here in New York City.
All right. We have a serious topic to talk to you about. It involves the flu, the deadly epidemic. It is striking again. Look at the newest victim. He's a cute 10-year-old little boy. The chilling new warning this morning.
Plus, time is running out for Congress to avoid a government shutdown at midnight on Friday, but Stuart Varney says, let it shut down. Go ahead.
Let it happen.
Why? Stuart's next.
Get ready for Centrum Micro Workouts. The Bubble Curl, the Twist and Turn, the Stretch and Grab, the Gummy Squish. Centrum micronutrients fuel your body from the inside out. Grab a Centrum and join in. Repeat daily.
Experience the new 2018 Lexus NX and the NX Hybrid with a class-leading 31 mpg combined estimate.
Lease the 2018 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
3, 2, 1.
When this bell rings, it starts a chain reaction that's heard throughout the connected business world. AT&T Network Security helps protect business from the largest financial markets to the smallest transactions by sensing cyber attacks in near real time and automatically deploying countermeasures, keeping the world of business connected and protected. That's the power of and.
What do Sure Payroll customers have in common? A super easy, affordable way to file and pay payroll taxes. With Sure Payroll, payroll taxes are a breeze. We process employees, contractors, and you can even pay yourself. We file and pay your federal, state, and local taxes. Just call 844-SURE-PAYROLL or visit surepayroll.com to get a free quote. Award-winning customer service, guaranteed tax filing, plus 60 days free payroll.
I chose Weight Loss because it's medically supervised, clinically proven, and they created a plan just for me.
I went from a size 20 to a size 8.
Weight Loss kept me motivated. I lost over 70 pounds.
60 pounds, I'm 55 and fabulous.
The Weight Loss products and supplements helped me stay on track, and I lost 60 pounds.
You can lose up to 10 pounds the first week. Visit startmedi.com to shop online and find a location near you.
A John Kelly exclusive. It's a special look inside the president's agenda, straight from the White House Chief of Staff. Brett has the interview you can't miss tonight.
She's asleep. Yes.
You may be new parents, but tonight, you're determined to feel like your old selves again. With Blue Apron, any night is a chance to see what cooking can do.
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call now. Americans who worked in shipyards, refineries, steel mills, power plants, or chemical companies could have been exposed unnecessarily. Because of companies' negligence, U.S. courts have ordered many to put aside billions of dollars for victims. Call now to see if you are eligible for a cash award. You could receive money without going to court or even filing a lawsuit.
Call 1-800-398-5216. That's 1-800-398-5216.
I'm going to do the headlines right now by myself, even though I could get help. A father suffering a massive heart attack minutes after a false missile alert in Hawaii. The Honolulu Star reports Sean Shields got violently ill during the panic, calling his kids to say what he thought was a final goodbye. Shields and his girlfriend driving to a hospital where he had emergency heart surgery. He's going to be okay. And a plastic surgeon is accused of showing up drunk for a procedure. Dr. Theodore Gerstel, if he's your doctor, switch out. He walked out of a Kentucky hospital after a staff confronted him. He was arrested and charged with public intoxication. Plastic surgeons should be sober. I've always said that.
Yeah, not good for his future medical
24
career.
minutes after the hour, let's bring in a man that I talk to a lot. Stuart Varney from Varney and Company.
Greetings.
On from 9 to noon.
Greetings.
Shut down? You want to shut down Stuart Varney?
In my opinion, it is in the national interest to fix immigration and fix military spending. Those are national priorities. I don't care who gets the blame for a shutdown, but it would certainly bang heads together. It would certainly increase the pressure to get this done, do your job, make compromises. That's what politicians are supposed to do, and fix the mess.
You know who's on your side is the House Freedom Caucus, because they say they took a look at how things are as of last night, and they said we can't vote for this thing right now, this continuing resolution to fund the government, because essentially the same thing you said, spending too much money and not fixing things.
What's wrong with a deal that says build the wall, end chain migration, end the lottery system, but let the dreamers stay? That's compromise on both sides.
That's what
that
President
would fix
Trump
it.
wants.
That's what he wants. What's wrong with that? Now, you shut the government down and you put a great deal of pressure on those people in Congress. Get it done.
401ks are looking good. Stock market hit a record high yesterday.
Have you seen all the smiles that are around this building and in other big corporations in America? That's because in the first couple of weeks of January, big companies have to report to their employees the status of their 401ks. They open up the 401k, their pension plan, and boy, oh boy, are they smiling. Because most people are up between a quarter and a third because of this stock market rally. And by the way, when the market opens 1 hour from now, we're going to make another run at 26,000.
So I was stunned to see, as I was going through the New York Times today, a story that should have been on page 1. It was on page 8 at the bottom. It was about the economy and the increase in popularity of the tax reform plan that was passed. Take a look at this quote from the New York Times. Falling unemployment, accelerating economic growth, and a sturgeon stock market have made Americans increasingly positive about their own finances and overall economy. Buried in the paper and credited primarily from the tax plan.
Yeah. I read it.
So what is your take on burying the lead that actually is a legitimate story?
It's par for the course. We've seen this over the past year. Anything that might be considered positive for President Trump is relegated either to the back page or no page at all.
Or credit the previous administration.
This is wrong. The president reversed the failing policies of President Obama. He reversed all this regulation. He reversed the tax situation, and we've got growth. We've got strong economic growth and a big stock market rally. That is largely because of President Trump. Case closed.
And you know, Stuart, for the people who don't have stocks and feel like they're not involved in that, and their company didn't give them $1,000 or $2,000 bonus, coming up in the next month, they're going to start to feel less withholding taken out, and so they're going to essentially get a little raise right there.
Everybody who pays federal income tax will get a lower tax rate come February. They'll see it in their paychecks. Everybody who pays federal income tax will get a higher paycheck. And this stock market rally, this economic boom, it's pointing towards prosperity in the future. That's what you've got to look forward to. When walking down that road, we're on that road. We're not going to divert from it. We've got tax cuts, we've got deregulation, we've got growth, prosperity. Full speed ahead.
Don't need a marketing plan. You just need people to feel the difference.
Well, you need a media which is honest and which reports what's going on to the important points in our lives. Since when has the economy and prosperity not been important to all of us?
Well, they got
the readers know that. The readers know that. They know when they see it on the bottom of page 8 that should be a lead story because it affects
this
their
barrage of distraction from what's really going on with our financial lives. Who could miss it, for heaven's sake?
In fairness to the media, they did get bad news. The president will survive. So they had to get
very
overcome
disappointed
that.
this morning.
Yeah, I think they are, actually.
Yeah.
They got a black eye from that press conference.
They really do.
I think they did.
Yeah, it's pretty
Thank
obvious.
you, Steve. Thank you all.
Thanks, Stuart.
Let's keep in touch.
Meanwhile, companies nationwide are spreading the wealth thanks to the president's tax plan, as we were just talking. One CEO is making sure his employees know exactly who to thank by putting Trump's name right on their bonus check. Look at that. Down on the memo line, Trump tax cut and jobs.
And a lot of people worried about Pete Hegseth and what he's having for breakfast. He is eating with friends in Ohio. We're checking in with him next.
You want to wave? Please wave, say hi. What kind of feeling? I'm high on believing.
Running a business is not for the faint of heart. Luckily, Office Depot Office Max is here to take care of you.
Taking care of business.
With print services. Done right, on time, guaranteed. Expert tech support. And this week only, all PCs are on sale. Save $250 off this HP laptop. Plus, protect your investment with an accidental protection plan. Office Depot Office Max. OfficeDepot.com.
Taking care of business.
I used to feel like my metabolism was stuck. Sound familiar? Now you can boost your metabolism, lose weight fast, and have more energy.
Introducing Turbo 13 from Nutrisystem. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast. Money back guaranteed.
My energy is through the roof.
I have more stamina than ever.
I'm living healthier and happier.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day plan right now, and we'll rush you Turbo 13 with specially designed meals. Plus 1 week of all new NutriCurb bars to curb cravings free. 1 week of Turbo Shakes to help shrink your belly free. And 1 week of all new Turbo Boosters to rev your metabolism free. Call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping. Free. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month.
Boost your metabolism, your energy, and your weight loss. Call or go online now.
Go online or call 888-871-THIN right now and get Turbo 13 with bar shakes and turbo boosters free.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka.
And I'm Johnny Bench.
And we spent our whole lives around professional sports taking hits.
And catching our fair share of aches and pains.
Which is why we use Blue Emu's pain relief products.
Blue Emu products, non-greasy, deep penetrating formula that works down into your muscles and joints and works its magic.
It's comfort that won't leave you smelling like a football gym bag.
Or an old catcher's mitt.
Or a shower mat in the locker room.
How about an old pair of socks after an extra inning game?
Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
You wouldn't feel good not knowing the price here. Don't let it happen when you buy your diabetes test strips. With the AccuCheck Guide Simple Pay program, you pay the same low price, all without having to go through insurance. Plus, they come in a spill-resistant vial along with a free meter. Skip the guessing game and focus on your health, not the cost. Make saving simple today at simplepaysaves.com.
When it comes to travel, I sweat the details.
late checkout, down alternative pillows, and of course, price. TripAdvisor helps you book a hotel without breaking a sweat. Because we now instantly search over 200 booking sites to find you the lowest price on the hotel you want. Don't sweat your booking. TripAdvisor, the latest reviews, the lowest prices.
That's so cool. It is time for your shot of the morning, the buzzer beater. These high schoolers are never going to forget. Fans, as you can see, absolutely going crazy as they storm the court.
The game had been tied at 50 each with just 3 seconds to go.
But that star player stealing the ball at the last possible second and sinking a three-point shot, it made it even sweeter. The Illinois Crow teams are crosstown rivals. We'll follow their entire season.
Wow. I'd like to know that young man's name. Congratulations.
Right. Someday we will.
Proud.
He knows his name, wherever he's watching.
There you go. We know Pete Hegseth's name. He's right now at Mama's West Cafe in Hillsboro, Ohio, having breakfast with friends. Good morning to you, Pete.
Good morning. It has been a great morning here. Talk about great people in great country. This is Highland County. It went 76% for President Trump in the election. The editor of the newspaper here said, come out to Trump country and actually talk to voters, which is exactly what we've been doing all morning long. We've got a great group here. Sue works at Walmart. Alex is a realtor. Larry owns a construction business, and Daphne is a nurse. All Trump supporters with messages this morning. Nancy Pelosi said that breadcrumbs are what these $1,000 bonuses are. What does a $1,000 bonus mean to real people?
Well, for one thing, it's a very, very big deal. You know, when you work for a company and they want to give you $1,000 just because our president gave us a tax break, to me, it's a big deal. We've been called deplorables and everything else, but this deplorable appreciates those breadcrumbs.
Very much. You also had something to say about respect of this president.
Yes, the disrespect our president has been shown is just, it really bothers me. I've prayed about it many, many times. I wasn't an Obama fan, but I never treated him with disrespect. And no matter who your president is, he deserves respect.
Absolutely. Alex, you say that there's a misunderstanding, especially in the so-called mainstream media, about rural America.
In the mainstream media and the left on university campuses, in the liberal elite, there's a huge misunderstanding of rural America and, frankly, white America. I know we have unpleasant factions on both sides among our country, but the average, the normal person in this area, in the heartland, so to speak, is not preoccupied with race. That's not what we get up and talk about, if at all, ever. We're talking about the economy, we're talking about jobs, how to make America safe, how to make America great again. That's what we want. The only color we're occupied with is green, the economy, not these racial differences that so often the liberals want to pit us against each other.
It's a great point, great point. Larry, you are also, in addition to being a small business owner, your wife owns this fantastic restaurant. You know, you talked about the dinner table. What conversations are being had by regular Americans?
A lot about jobs. The fact that in the last 7-8 years, workers have been pretty hard pressed to come by, and it's just like the doors have opened up on work. You know, there's a lot more work. Matter of fact, our local lumberyard here, they have Fox News on all day long.
Thank you. Give them a shout out. Who are they?
Kemper's Lumberyard.
Kemper's Lumberyard. Thank you very much for watching us. We appreciate it.
When you come in behind the counter, there's a huge screen TV. Fox is on all day. I mean, they're all supporters of you. They're supporters of Trump. One of my big beefs is this wall. To me, he is trying to protect us as a people, and I see the Democrats protecting illegal aliens, and what they don't understand about the word illegal is confusing.
Last time I checked, it's illegal. Daphne, you're, as a nurse, what are the issues that you want to see the most happen out of this president?
Well, the biggest thing for me is border security. I have a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old going to college. One's getting ready to move to Houston. I want to know that they're safe. And if we don't stop the constant influx of illegal immigrants coming in, I agree with you. I don't understand why they don't understand that that's illegal. Just them being here is illegal.
It strikes me a lot of the things the president are pursuing is just common sense, the type of things that resonate with regular folks.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say, we do a lot of these diners. Hillsboro, Y'all are awesome, all right? Thank you very much for having us here. A ton of common sense from these folks. And the folks that say the polls that President Trump's approval rating has gone down, don't believe them. Sounds like fake news to me. They're as enthusiastic here as they've always been. This is also called the Sasquatch. It's 1 full pound of beef, and I'm going to eat it as you guys continue.
Can we
to work.
please zoom in a little bit to just see that a little better, the Sasquatch?
Look at that.
Okay, let's see.
It looks delicious.
Oh, very nice.
Looks so good.
All right, Pete, that was
The
excellent.
big burger.
And by the way, fake news awards are tonight, aren't they?
That's right.
Do we have an outfit picked out? Have we rented a tux?
I wonder if there's going to be trophies.
I'll make the popcorn.
Well, okay, fine.
We'll if you're not going to be watching tonight, we'll have the winners or losers tomorrow on the show. All right, it is 22 minutes now before the top of the hour.
A woman, not a loser.
Thank you.
Right. Winner.
Not today. Guys, let's get you caught up on the deadly flu outbreak. This is just crazy. It's striking again. This time, a 10-year-old boy, Nico Malozzi, died the same day he was rushed to the hospital, coming home from a hockey tournament in upstate New York. Health officials say he also had pneumonia. The CDC says at least 20 children have died from flu-related illnesses in the U.S. this season. Experts urging everyone to get the flu shot. The virus is now widespread in every state except Hawaii. Heart-stopping video shows the moment fishermen jump overboard to escape death. Just stop what you're doing and watch this video.
Hey! 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 Oh my God!
Wow, that boat showing no signs of stopping, plowing right into the small boat in Oregon. One of the quick-thinking fishermen now suing the driver of the other boat, claiming they were speeding and distracted by a cell phone. The fishing boat is wrecked, but no one seriously hurt. Companies across America spreading the wealth thanks to the president's tax cuts. Now, one small business owner is letting his employees know just where their bonuses came from by writing in the check's memo, Trump Tax Cut and Jobs Act. Sheldon Wolf, the founder and CEO of SpellX, a software development company, joined us earlier.
I wanted to do it because I'm excited about the new tax plan from Trump and the GOP, and I wanted to share the wealth, as they say.
Wolf says while most of his employees are not fans of President Trump, no one complained. Let's look at your headlines, and I know you guys talked to him earlier. It's pretty interesting.
No one's complaining about getting $1,000.
That's right. He was a small business guy, but saw the big corporations giving out the dough and thought, you know what, we can afford to do that too.
Right, and with this, thank you very much, Shirley. With this tax cut, I got Janice Dean a brand new umbrella from Rick Reichmuth. With the tax cut, I was able to afford it.
My Weatherman umbrella made by our very own Rick
They're
Reichmuth.
awesome. They're so
I hope
good.
I get a percentage.
Yes, I hope so too.
Checks in the mail, Janice.
It matches my outfit. How's that? You know what? This was what we would call a wintry mix, by the way. We've got some snow and some sleet and some rain mixed in, and this is kind of not the greatest of all weather to be traveling in. So let's take a look at the map, shall we? I will show you where the temperatures are around the freezing mark in New York City, 33, and then behind this, there's that Arctic cold front where it's 15 in Dallas and it's 20 in New Orleans, and with the wind chill, it feels even colder than that. Talking about below zero, -5 in Memphis, 15 in Dallas, 11 in San Antonio. We actually had snow across the Gulf Coast, including Houston, Texas, yesterday. Now into the Panhandle in New Orleans, as well as coastal Mississippi and Alabama. Now in towards the Carolinas, up towards the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, where we're right on the cusp of that snow here in New York. Not going to get a lot of snow along the coast, but it's north and west of New York City where we could get the jackpot there, and also parts of North Carolina getting a lot of snow as well. So not a big bomb cyclone, my friends, but it is going to cause some problems on the roadway. So just be careful. Are you adjusting yourself, Ainsley? I saw that.
My skirt was coming up. Gotta pull it down.
The things we have to do, my friend.
All right.
Don't feel sorry for me. You're out there in the elements.
Oh, it's okay. I'm warm.
She's 4 feet from the door. She'll be right in.
Come on in.
All right. Meanwhile, there's a new warning from the Department of Homeland Security to sanctuary city leaders. Cooperate, or you could wind up with criminal charges. How would that work? Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach on deck with that next.
Plus, one state is rallying to raise its minimum wage up to $15 an hour. But will that actually do more harm than good? Former Labor Secretary nominee Andy Puzder on that coming up.
Parodontax, the toothpaste that helps prevent bleeding gums. If you spit blood when you brush or floss, you may have gum problems and could be on the journey to much worse. Help stop the journey of gum disease. Try Parodontax toothpaste.
At Safe Flight Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why we show you exactly when we'll be there, saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Today, we're finally getting our bathtub redone. We weren't happy with it.
But we didn't want the headaches of demolition.
Or the days without our bathroom. Then a friend told us about Bath Fitter and their unique tub-over-tub process. There's no demolition, and they install in as little as a day. They also have a seamless wall for a watertight fit. And Bath Fitter has a lifetime guarantee. What a difference. Finally, a bathtub I love.
Call today or learn more at bathfitter.com.
CoQ10 is the #1 cardiologist recommended supplement for people taking cholesterol-lowering statin drugs. Cunol, with 3 times better absorption than regular CoQ10, has the #1 cardiologist recommended form of CoQ10. Cunol, the better CoQ10.
Have you ever seen something so beautiful that all you could say was, wow? Beaches, Turks, and Caicos, where anything is possible because everything is included. Wow! Get up to 65% off. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
Attention, do you have a St. Jude defibrillator? If it was implanted between 2010 and 2016, it may have been recalled. Faulty defibrillators and device malfunction have led to serious injuries and even death. If your St. Jude defibrillator was recalled or implanted between 2010 and 2016, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-800-4417. 800-800-4417. Call 800-800-4417 right now.
Imagine a shirt that actually makes you feel better. Introducing Tommy Copper's all-new shoulder-centric posture shirt. Their biggest breakthrough yet. Advanced engineering promotes healthy posture and relief for achy shoulders and back. Visit TommyCopper.com to see the entire line of wearable wellness compression. They have you covered from head to toe. Go to TommyCopper.com right now and find out how you can save 25% on your first purchase, plus free shipping. Life hurts. Feel better.
Hiring was always a huge challenge. Endless hours on job sites with not a lot to show for it. Then I found ZipRecruiter. They figured out hiring. I post my job, and they send me the right people because their technology is smart.
Go to ZipRecruiter to post over 100 job boards with one click, then easily select the best candidates from your dashboard.
ZipRecruiter often sends me the right person in 24 hours.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/time.
Homeland Security making it clear what could happen to those sanctuary city leaders, the mayors, who are harboring illegal immigrants in the sanctuary city.
My question is whether DHS is currently working with the Justice Department to bring Section 8 U.S.C. 1324 charges or any criminal charges against state or local officials.
The Department of Justice is reviewing what avenues might be available. The context of this is, of course, not only putting my ICE officers at risk, but also finding an efficient and effective way to enforce our immigration laws.
And Jeff Sessions talked about that with Tucker Carlson last night as Attorney General. So how would that work? Could there be arrests of mayors and sheriffs? Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach helped the president draft his immigration policy and joins us right now. Well, Chris, do you think it's going to come to this? Do you think we're going to see Rahm Emanuel, Mayor de Blasio in cuffs?
Well, it's certainly possible. You know, there is a section in our criminal code dealing with immigration that makes it a crime to encourage or induce an illegal alien to remain in the country, knowing that he's an illegal alien or with reckless indifference to the fact that he's probably an illegal alien. And that's the actions by these city councils to create these sanctuary laws actually would fall within that crime. Now, it's up to the Justice Department to decide whether they want to charge him with it. But, you know, this crime's been on the books since 1952. And in the past, it's been used to charge, say, a business owner who provides incentives for illegal aliens to remain and keep working for him. And that's, you know, he's helping maybe 4 or 5 illegal aliens. These city leaders are helping 400,000 or 500,000 illegal aliens. So the gravity of their actions is far greater than what people who are spending time behind bars have done.
ultimately, you have to wonder if you want tax dollars going to people who got here illegally or to the people that need it who are here legally and paying into the system, even if sometimes illegals do pay in some way a degree of taxes. Chris, you know what the raging debate now is. The Democrats want DACA. The Republicans say in exchange for legitimate border security, end of chain migration, end of the lottery system, and we're going to be looking at a lockout because no one can agree. What's your solution?
You know, DACA, the amnesty for nearly 1 million illegal aliens, the average age is 24. Their criminality is twice that of the comparable American population. We just saw a study out of Arizona. It's bad for America. So if we were to grant a DACA amnesty, you'd have to have, in my opinion, all the things that President Trump outlined and you just mentioned, plus E-Verify. E-Verify right now is only mandatory in a few states. You'd have to make it mandatory everywhere to ensure that the flood of illegal aliens who are going to come in, every time we have an amnesty, it brings another flood of illegal aliens. We got to make sure that they aren't stealing jobs from Americans as well. So you'd have to have E-Verify in addition to all those other law enforcement measures. Look, the Democrats aren't even willing to give anything. So at this point, I don't see how there's any deal on the table.
Right. And I guess you don't have for people in Kansas, should they worry about that ever becoming a sanctuary state?
We actually do have 3 sanctuary counties in our state, but we're working on trying to end that here in Kansas, and hopefully we will.
All right, Chris Kobach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Legal immigration still raging in this country. When are we going to reform the system? Meanwhile, one state is rallying to raise its minimum wage to $15 an hour. But will that actually do more harm than good? Former Labor Secretary nominee Andy Puzder is up next. But first, let's check in with Sandra Smith, who also makes minimum wage. She's going to tell us what's going on her show for the next 2 hours. Of course, Hemmert's got to sign off on it.
And he just got to the set. We're thankful for that. Brian Kilmeade, good to see you. Just a couple days left to get an immigration deal and fund the government. Congress working hard right now to get some sort of deal done. So will they? And what will it look like? Steve Bannon speaking to the House Intel Committee yesterday for 12 hours. And Corey Lewandowski is on deck to be grilled today. What will we learn? Congressman Trey Gowdy joins us live. And Senator Mike Lee is here as well. Dr. Mark Siegel on the president's health and finally, Chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, Mac Thornberry. He joins us live immediately following a meeting at the Pentagon. We will talk military strategy and funding the government with him. Big 2 hours coming up.
Here's the story of Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Sumatra Reserve. Let's go to Sumatra. The coffee here is amazing because the volcanic soil is amazing. So we give farmers like Vin more plants to grow more delicious coffee, which helps provide for Vin's family. All for a smoother tasting cup of coffee. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters.
Patrick woke up with back pain, but he has work to do, so he took a leave. If he'd taken Tylenol, he'd be stopping for more pills right now. Only Aleve has the strength to stop tough pain for up to 12 hours with just one pill. Aleve, all day strong.
I chose Medi Weight Loss because it's medically supervised, clinically proven, and they created a plan just for me.
I went from a size 20 to a size 8.
Medi Weight Loss kept me motivated. I lost over 70 pounds.
60 pounds, I'm 55 and fabulous.
The Medi Weight Loss products and supplements helped me stay on track, and I lost 60 pounds.
You can lose up to 10 pounds the first week. Visit startmedi.com to shop online and find a location near you.
Vegas shooting bombshell. Inside new documents and what the shooter's girlfriend really knew. Laura is live in Las Vegas with the latest investigation on the Ingram Angle.
To design the Lisa mattress, we asked, if sleep is essential to happiness, what's essential to sleep? The answer? 3 premium layers. A high-density core for amazing support, memory foam for pressure relief, and a top layer with airflow cooling, and just the right amount of bounce. All wrapped in a soft, distinctive cover. Introducing the Lisa mattress, a better place to sleep. Order online. We'll build your Lisa mattress and ship it free, right to your door. So you can experience Lisa's universal feel, designed to adapt to your body. Sleep on your Lisa mattress for up to 100 nights and love it or get a full refund. Returns are free and easy. Read our reviews. Then try the Lisa mattress in your own home. Order now and get $100 off. Go to buylisa.com today.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
The 3 Ps?
What do
are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 65 and take medications. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you, too. Call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan, available through the Colonial Penn program. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. So call now for free information.
Call 1-800-480-3311 for free information and a free gift. That's 1-800-480-3311. Call now.
This week, as part of a Fight for $15 rally in Maryland, 2 lawmakers proposed legislation that would raise the state's minimum wage to $15 by the year 2023. If that happened, Maryland would join California, New York, and the District of Columbia, all set to reach $15 within the next couple of years.
But do wage hikes actually inflict more harm than good? Andy Puzder is policy advisor for America First Policies. He's also a former nominee for Secretary of Labor and the former CEO of CKE Restaurant Group, which was Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. We welcome you into the studio. Great
Pleasure
to
to be here. Always great to see you guys.
Good to have you.
Is there some truth to that? Wage hikes, minimum wage goes up. Can that be bad for the
economy? It's really just common sense. When wages go up, where they impact the profits of a business, and these are, people go into business to make a profit. They want to keep their costs down. So when minimum wage goes up beyond what they really can pay with their current structure, they have to either reduce people's hours, which is what happened in Seattle. There's a study showing they went down $125 a month, or they automate. And there are studies showing that automation really hurts young people, elderly people, and African Americans. So it really does hurt. Competition is much more effective at driving wages up, because if people believe that the economy is going to grow, and at the same time with the Republican and President Trump's tax bill and deregulation, businesses now have more money. They want to invest in the future. They believe it's going to grow. So you've seen people automatically, you've seen banks and stuff go to 15, and Walmart went to 11. So I think what Walmart has said is that the market is now about $11. Now, there are places where it'll be lower. There are places like Seattle and San Francisco where it'll be higher. But the market is at 11. So if you raise your wage up to 11, you're probably not hurting anything. You go above 11 to 15, you're going to see very negative consequences.
Sure. And Andy, I'm sure you travel all around the country. How many places have you been to where there's a fast food place and there's an iPad where you punch in your own order and it comes out in about 90 seconds real fast? Here in New York City, they're talking about replacing cashiers with that because, well, the activists think, okay, we've got some real leverage here. They actually don't, because it's easier to buy an automated system than it is to hire people.
Yeah, for years it was more expensive to buy the machine and you didn't have the personal touch. Now with millennials moving up and they do everything on their iPhones or digitally, you're seeing more acceptance of these kiosks, and they've come down in price, and because labor's gone up, they've become more competitive. So McDonald's and Wendy's have announced they're putting really hundreds, if not thousands in. Ruby Tuesday just laid off people in their restaurants. They've got on the table ordering. I mean, this is spreading fast and wide, and it's unfortunate because young people need those entry-level jobs. My first entry-level job was at Baskin-Robbins. And I tell you what, you learn so much in a short period of time. A lot of people that can't afford to go to college or that need to work to pay for it need those entry-level jobs to get the experience. And this minimum wage hike is killing them. It's just, it's a very negative thing for the country.
How about tax reform, putting more green back in everyone's wallets?
This tax reform hasn't been, it's so amazing. I had done an interview on Vice where they were kind of laughing at me because I said I thought wages would go up by second quarter of next year, about 2018. I ended up writing the guy who was laughing an email and said, I said second quarter. I didn't know, but they'd go up by the second day. Within 48 hours they would start to go up. The reaction's been tremendous. Optimism is historically high among the business community. That means growth.
And Andy got the last laugh.
Thank you,
so
Andy.
much for being with us.
Thank you both.
We're going to step aside. More Fox and Friends just a couple minutes away.
Before discovering Nexium 24-Hour to treat her frequent heartburn, Lucy could only imagine enjoying a slice of pizza. Now, it's as easy as pie. Nexium 24-Hour stops acid before it starts for all-day, all-night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
It's frustrating when you can't see clearly. Imagine there were wiper blades that did more than just wipe away the rain. Rain-X Latitude Water Repellency 2-in-1 Wiper Blades. Our revolutionary blades include the water-beating magic of Rain-X and works by applying the repellent directly to the glass. So water magically beads up and rolls away while you drive. Compared to traditional wipers, the difference is amazing. That's why Rain-X just won the prestigious Product of the Year award. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
What do Sure Payroll customers have in common? A super easy, affordable way to file and pay payroll taxes. With Sure Payroll, payroll taxes are a breeze. We process employees, contractors, and you can even pay yourself. We file and pay your federal, state, and local taxes. Just call 844-SURE-PAYROLL or visit SurePayroll.com to get a free quote. Award-winning customer service, guaranteed tax filing, plus 60 days free payroll.
Smart Mouth Activated Mouthwash is clinically proven to neutralize smelly sulfur gas and keep it from coming back for 12 hours with each rinse. For truly clean breath that lasts 24 hours, you need to use Smart Mouth Activated Mouthwash.
Dry mouth? Use Smart Mouth with Moisture Lock technology. It's the only dry mouth rinse that relieves bad breath for 12 hours with only one use. Available at drugstores, supermarkets, and elsewhere.
It's time to drop all those unhealthy pounds that have been weighing you down. 30 pounds down.
I'm down 41 pounds.
79 pounds down. Introducing Turbo 13 from Nutrisystem. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast. Money back guaranteed.
You'll improve your health, have more energy, and lose weight. I'm Marie, and I dropped 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day plan right now, and we'll rush you Turbo 13 with specially designed meals. Plus, 1 week of all new NutriCurb bars to curb cravings free. And 1 week of Turbo Shakes to help shrink your belly free.
41 pounds down.
Call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping free. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month.
If I can do it, you can do it. Join me in the millions of people who have lost weight with Nutrisystem.
Go online or call 888-608-DIET right now and get Turbo 13 with bars and shakes free.
I, like everyone else, would like to know the answer.
Bill Clinton lived a double life.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Scandalous, a 7-part series. Premieres Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Fox News Channel.
Well, what's going to happen with immigration? Tomorrow we're going to have Senator John Cornyn and the winners or losers to the president's dishonest media award.
And the mega morning deals.
Wow.
Yahoo.
And we'll find out if the whole government will shut down and the world comes to an end.
Man, that's our program at an end. See you tomorrow.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good morning, everybody. And watch the clock because it is ticking. And with there's a couple of days to go, President Trump and Congress now racing to iron out an immigration deal and keep the government open for business. 2 big items on the agenda as we say good morning. Midweek now on Wednesday. I'm Bill Hemmer, live inside of America's Newsroom. How you doing?
And here we go.
Better than ever, by the way. Yes, you are.
Beware of ice is my lesson of the morning. And I'm Sandra Smith. Thanks for joining us. Lawmakers working to hammer out a deal as both sides dig their heels in on their respective issues. Republicans want more border security and stricter immigration reform. Democrats want to protect those so-called dreamers. One thing's for sure, it will be another busy day in Washington.
You say that you wanted more people coming from your way. Is that true, Mr. President? I want them to come in from everywhere.
What he was referencing is, from a merit-based perspective, we'd like to have those with skills who can assimilate and contribute to the United States, moving away from country quotas and to an individual merit-based system.
This has turned into a S show, and we need to get back to being a great country where Democrats and Republicans have worked together to do something that we should have done years ago.
The Republicans are in control of the House and the Senate and the White House. It is their decision as to whether they'll work with us to move forward.
We certainly don't want the government to shut down, but we'd still like to see a budget deal that is a 2-year budget deal, that is a clean budget deal. We haven't given up on that, and we hope that Democrats will not hold our government hostage and will not stop military spending.
Peter Ducey is live for us this morning on a chilly day in Washington. Peter, are Republicans even trying to win over Democratic support to keep the government open?
No, Sandra, they are trying to do it with Republicans only, and the leaders are attempting to sweeten this 1 month of additional government funding, the continuing resolution, by adding in 6 years worth of funding for the Children's Health Insurance Program and delaying Obamacare's medical device tax. But because they do not plan to touch DACA in the next couple days, some conservatives think their own leaders are laying the groundwork for an unfavorable immigration deal next month, and the House Freedom Caucus thinks they can block this bill.
We're not setting any demands for leadership. I will say, based on the number of no and undecided votes, there is not enough votes for a Republican-only bill that would reach a 218 threshold without convincing some of our members to switch their position from either undecided or no to yes.
This morning, the White House legislative director warned his colleagues on Capitol Hill that a shutdown would make them look bad, but at the same time, he seems to sympathize with their stance.
There is a sense that if Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House, they'll get blamed. But the reality is that Democrats, we need 60 votes in the United States Senate. The Democrats are the ones that have a lot of power here, and they are, as you say, holding the American people and the government hostage in order to get demands that they want on DACA.
But Democrats are already saying Republicans control every branch of government, so if they can't keep it open, it's their fault.
So,
Sandra.
Peter, would Democrats vote on this short-term bill if they could get DACA next month?
No, it doesn't sound like it. The House Democratic Whip, Steny Hoyer, is already saying that even if there's a short-term, couple-weeks-long government funding bill, he wants DACA attached. And the Senate Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer, is already saying that they tried to negotiate an immigration bill with Republicans, but the president didn't like it.
It's not the bill we would have written if we were in charge. But that is not the situation we find ourselves in. To make this body work, to avoid a shutdown, we must compromise.
Republican lawmakers only have till Friday night to figure out how to keep the government open, and right now a meeting is beginning behind me across the street from the House office buildings to see where things stand this morning. Sandra?
That deadline quickly approaching. Peter Doocy, thank you. Meanwhile, the Justice Department now fighting back, asking the Supreme Court to review a lower court's DACA decision. Last week, a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from denying work permits to applicants who entered the U.S. illegally when they were children. The administration is also appealing the ruling to the Court of Appeals at the same time as it asks the High Court to get involved.
5 minutes past, the former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon speaking with the House Intelligence Committee for a long time yesterday. And he's expected to go back for round 2 tomorrow. Meanwhile, that same panel will talk with Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski today. And South Carolina Congressman Trey Gowdy, member of that committee, with a lot of questions to ask. Sir, good morning and welcome back to America's Newsroom.
Good morning. Thank you.
I heard you last night say that Steve Bannon was using a tortured version of executive privilege. Well, he was there for 12 hours. So, yeah, I imagine you talked about something.
Well, we spent the first half of the day trying to understand what in the world he was talking about with executive privilege. His version of executive privilege is it covers the transition, it covers the time he was at the White House, and it covers time immemorial. That is no one's definition of executive privilege. So we spent several hours trying to figure out just what the heck he was talking about. And then in the afternoon, we had to dodge around these 3 categories that are apparently off limits. Now, Bill, keep in mind, this is the same person who accused 2 of the president's family members of committing treasonous acts. So, of course, we're going to want to cross-examine him on what he thinks was treasonous. But if everything's off limits, that's a really short conversation.
So I take it you asked him about the treasonous comment and he did not answer it, right?
I tried to. Well, that's the beauty of it. He answered it initially, and then apparently his lawyer didn't like the fact that he answered it, so then he clammed up. That is an eminently reasonable, legitimate question. If you're going to accuse somebody of a crime for which you can be put to death, what is your evidence for that? So I don't know anyone who wouldn't ask that question. He started to answer it, and then his lawyers got involved, and that usually messes up almost everything, and that's why we were there for a long time yesterday, but we're going to have to go back tomorrow.
You sound frustrated. Do I have that right?
I am frustrated whenever people assert privileges that do not exist. And I am really frustrated when witnesses have all the time in the world to talk to the media on and off the record, and they can help people write books, but they can't talk to the representatives that are elected by their fellow citizens. I mean, picture that. He's happy to tell an author about treasonous, unpatriotic acts, but he won't tell members of Congress when he's pressed on it. I'm not aware of any privilege that lets you pick and choose who you answer questions for.
I understand the point you're making, and any reason to expect there's a difference tomorrow. Now, did you settle any ground rules late yesterday that would indicate that would be different on Thursday?
Bill, there's one thing that can fix it, which is the White House instructs Steve Bannon, we're not asserting executive privilege. We are telling you to answer all of the questions that Congress has. That could fix it in a nanosecond.
Yeah.
If the White House would say, answer their questions, Steve.
Have you found evidence of collusion?
No, sir. But we're not through yet. And some of my colleagues have already made up their minds, namely Adam Schiff. He found collusion before we even started. So I'm not sure how you do that, but he did it. I have seen no evidence of collusion between the president and the Russians, the president's campaign and the Russians. But we still have more interviews to do.
Okay, two more questions here. Corey Lewandowski appears today. Do you expect him to have the same posture as Steve Bannon?
I hope not. I hope not. It would be all we're doing is delaying. I mean, keep in mind the president and some of his supporters want Congress to hurry up and conclude these investigations. So do I. The best way to do that is to instruct witnesses to answer our questions instead of going through this charade of executive privilege.
Jim Rybecki appears tomorrow. Who is he, and why is he important?
He's a high-level FBI official who served under Jim Comey and currently serves, and we are looking at all the decisions the Department of Justice and the FBI made in 2016, and he's an integral part of that. I mean, keep in mind, Bill, this time last year, the Democrats wanted Jim Comey prosecuted for a Hatch Act violation. They now want him canonized or on Mount Rushmore, but this time last year, they wanted him prosecuted. So Republicans and Democrats have questions about decisions made by the Department of Justice in 2016. It's just the Democrats have stopped asking their questions and we have not.
Was Rybecki part of reporting or drafting the letter that exonerated Hillary Clinton? Was he part of that?
On it. He's copied on it, and the only way to know whether or not he played a meaningful role in drafting it is to interview him, which is what we're going to do tomorrow. But he was certainly copied on the drafts, so we need to know, did you participate in the editing, and is there also a prosecution version of that memo? We've seen the exoneration version. Two months before they concluded the investigation. Is there also a separate memo where you lay out the theory upon which she could be prosecuted? Because if there's not, and I don't think there is, then you made up your mind 2 months before you even interviewed the target of the investigation, which is really hard to believe.
Trey Gowdy, thank you for your time. Get back to work there in Washington,
yes,
okay?
Sir.
You're welcome. Come back here anytime. The Republican from South Carolina, thank you. One of his big allegations last night, if you saw Trey Gowdy with Tucker, was he thinks Democrats are dragging it out when it extended past November, and he also believes that the media is partly responsible for this. So we're going to debate all this coming up over the next couple of hours here. But there's Trey Gowdy today.
All right. Well, a stunning new report now revealing that 3 out of the 4 people convicted for terrorism in the U.S. have been foreign-born.
In 2017 alone, DHS had 2,554 encounters with individuals on the terrorist watch list who were attempting to travel to the United States. That equates to 7 terrorists a day, 50 a week.
President Trump seizing on that report as a reason that Democrats must come to the table and tighten our immigration program. Senator Mike Lee joins us on that and much more. Plus, did you catch this yesterday?
Explain to me how a guy who eats McDonald's and fried chicken and all those Diet Cokes and who never exercises is in as good a shape as you say he's in. It's called genetics.
This was a supersized report. White House doctor getting hammered by reporters for about an hour after giving the president an excellent bill of health. Are some media outlets now going out of their way to discredit his health and the president? We'll debate that and play more from that press conference as of yesterday. Also.
And breaking news on the search for answers on 2 deadly collisions at sea. Why 2 top commanders could face criminal charges later today.
I mean, Rocket Mortgage gives me complete control, but if I ever feel like things are getting hairy, I can call or chat with an expert. So no matter what, I know I'm making the best financial decision. Do you live in a treehouse or what?
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Get approved in as few as 8 minutes.
I was out here smoking instead of being there for my son's winning shot. That was it for me. That's why I'm quitting with Nicorette.
Only Nicorette Mini has a patented fast-dissolving formula. It starts to relieve sudden cravings fast.
Every great why needs a great how.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA. Every MyPillow is made with passion here in my home state of Minnesota to ensure you get the best sleep of your life.
One of the things that I really like about MyPillow is the support. It gives my neck a little hug.
I've never slept better in my life. What's better than a great night's sleep?
Sleep is one of the most important things to your health, and MyPillow is one of the most important things to your sleep.
Call or go online to order MyPillow Premium, and Mike will give you a second pillow absolutely free. Use the promo code on your screen to get 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. Don't delay. Order now.
I tried every pillow from expensive down pillows that just went flat to fiber-filled pillows that rebound every time you move your head. I even tried those memory foam pillows, and the curve did not match my neck, and it probably won't match yours. That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow lasts 10 years, is machine washable and dryable, and comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee.
I personally guarantee MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own or your money back.
Call or go online to order MyPillow Premium, and Mike will give you a second pillow absolutely free. Use the promo code on your screen to get 2 MyPillows for the price of 1.
Hurry! Offer ends February 1st.
With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
I don't know why I didn't get screened a long time ago. I kept putting it off. What was I thinking?
Okay, Mr. Jones, we're all done.
I told you it was easy.
With Lifeline Screening, getting screened for unknown health conditions is so quick, painless, and affordable, you'll wonder why you hadn't done it before. So if you're over age 50, call now and schedule an appointment near you. For just $149, a savings of over 50%, you'll receive a package of 5 screenings that go beyond your doctor's annual checkup. Ultrasound technology looks inside your arteries for plaque that builds up as you age and increases your risk of stroke and heart disease. After all, 4 out of 5 people who have a stroke, their first symptom is a stroke. So call today and start with a free health assessment to understand your best plan of action.
So why didn't we do this earlier?
Lifeline Screening. The power of prevention. Call now to learn more.
Criminal charges could be coming in the deadly Las Vegas shooting. Even though the gunman is dead, a lawyer for Las Vegas police did not identify any new evidence or suspects, but he did tell a judge that charges may be possible depending on the results of an ongoing investigation. Stephen Paddock killed 58 concert goers and injured more than 500 before turning the gun on himself back in October.
3 out of 4 individuals convicted in this country of international terrorism-related charges in the last 15 years were foreign-born. This report, unfortunately, is likely just the tip of the iceberg.
There you have Homeland Security Secretary on Capitol Hill yesterday pointing out the findings in a recent report, making the point about terrorism here in the U.S. as it relates to immigration. Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee with me now. And sir, good day to you. Couple topics to get to, so thank you for your time. Well, what do you think that does to the argument that the president's making about chain migration and ending the visa lottery and programs like that? Well, they've been law for years now, sir.
Yeah, I certainly think it's worth considering in the context of a discussion focusing on who we're wanting to bring into this country. When we look at our immigration laws moving forward, who are the people who are most likely to fit into the United States, who are most likely to become citizens who will contribute to the American experience, who share our commitment to the rule of law? These are things that are worth considering, and a merit-based immigration system is definitely something that will be under discussion.
Do you think a deal on DACA is to be made with this Congress?
Yeah, I think something is likely to happen in this area. The trick here is to find something that makes sure that we bring about an end to the underlying problem. We want to fix it in the sense that we don't want people to be punished for having been brought here years or decades ago when they were children, and sometimes, in some cases, when they were infants by no choice of their own. At the same time, we want to make sure that we fix it in a way that doesn't encourage more people to do the same thing in the future, leading to further victimization of the most vulnerable group of immigrants in this country. So I think a deal is to be had, but I think we've got to deal with it in a way that addresses border security and that also deals with our aging visa system that's out of date and needs to be updated.
Well, a lot of work going ahead for you, but I think a lot of people in the middle see a deal to be had there, and well, let's see, frankly, whether or not you can get there. Okay, now, you were a no vote late last night on the FISA law, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, that's Section 702. You've been railing against this idea for a long time, and you're still a no vote, despite the changes and the reforms they made in the law. How come, Senator?
I voted against bringing debate to a close last night because they haven't brought about adequate changes to Section 702. Now, neither I nor Senator Paul nor Senator Wyden or Senator Leahy or any of the others who voted no last night will want to end Section 702. That's not what this is about. What we want to make sure is that it can't be abused, that it can't be used to bring about illegal backdoor searches on American citizens. Right now, and as the law has been amended in this most recent iteration, it's got a loophole in it through which you could drive a Mack truck and a 747 and an Airbus A380. This is not an adequate protection for the American people,
Senator,
who don't want to have their own government spying on them.
You mentioned abuse. Do you believe this law has been abused? And what example would you give?
I believe that it's entirely possible that it could be abused. I have no proof of any particular instance in which it has happened. There are those who think it may have. My point is that we know that at some point in the future it will be abused if we don't put adequate protections in place. Well, remember, there was a body in the Senate a few decades ago that concluded that in every presidential administration from FDR all the way through Nixon, about the time this review was conducted, intelligence gathering agencies had been used to engage in political espionage. We know that these things happen. We've got to make sure that our laws are as tight as possible so that they don't happen as often as they would otherwise.
You know, Senator Rand Paul used two examples. He suggested perhaps in the future the government could use this database if you violate paying your own taxes or if you're in violation of a minor marijuana charge. Do you see those two examples as practical concerns that everyday Americans should have about their own security and privacy?
Look, I think every American is concerned about their privacy. Every American certainly ought to be concerned about the fact that someone could be targeted on the basis of unpopular political beliefs at some point in the future. This is a reason why we have a Fourth Amendment. It's one of the reasons why we're a country, why we don't fly the Union Jack, is that we believe in privacy, and we believe that our privacy is not at odds with our security. In fact, our security and our privacy are part of the same thing.
Well, Senator, one last thing here. Fewer Americans will be caught up in searches. That's what the proponents of the law say are changing now. And also they're saying it requires reforms the way intelligence services collect the contents and how they store that electronic information. Clearly, that's not good enough for you.
No, it's not. I mean, look, some of these protections apply only with respect to a case where there is a predicated investigation. There are many stages of investigations at which those restrictions wouldn't apply. And so that's why I say this creates a loophole that's a mile wide. And there are reforms that would still protect the American people from those who want to harm us. But those reforms didn't even have a chance to be voted on, and I think that's unfortunate.
Senator, thank you. I hope you come on back, okay? Mike Lee's a Republican from Utah. I know you've been hot on this issue for some time, though. Thank you for sharing some time with us today.
Thank you, Bill.
You bet. Sandra.
A former CIA agent charged for spying for China. He's accused of leaking top secret information, including the real names of undercover agents. How the Department of Justice uncovered his crime.
Also, President Trump calling for more border security. There's already a big challenge on that plan. We'll tell you what's behind a manpower crisis at the Border Patrol Agency.
Doesn't matter why they crossed or for what purpose they came here. What they did was illegal, and we're paid to uphold the law.
I wanted to sell my house, but didn't want people parading through it. So I called Homevestors, the We Buy Ugly Houses people. David came by and made me a cash offer right away. I even chose my closing date.
Visit WeBuyUglyHouses.com or call 800-44-BUYER.
This is where life expresses itself as an endless flow of energy. Are you ready? Atlantis, Bahamas at heart.
Book by January 31st for the best winter rates at 1-800-ATLANTIS or AtlantisBahamas.com.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Want to lose weight and see results fast? Lose up to 9 pounds and 3 inches overall in your first 2 weeks with the all-new South Beach Diet. It's a low-carb, low-sugar program that burns fat and transforms your metabolism. Now, South Beach comes to you with fully prepared meals delivered right to your door. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, even snacks.
I'm Jesse James Decker, and if y'all want to know how I stay in shape, I do it with the South Beach Diet. I lost 38 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life.
It's safe and healthy, easy to follow, and it works.
I lost 30 pounds.
I lost 24 pounds. Order your 28-day plan right now, and we'll rush you 1 week of our all-new South Beach Complete Shakes free. They're packed with 20 grams of protein, no added sugar, a great source of probiotics, vitamins, and they taste great. Call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in free FedEx shipping. Lose up to 9 pounds and 3 inches overall in your first 2 weeks.
Trust me, the South Beach Diet works. Call or click right now.
Call 888-586-PLAN or go to southbeachdiet.com and get 1 week of shakes free.
The President's Fake News Awards. How will the mainstream media respond? Sean breaks down the big event with Michelle Malkin tonight on a must-see Hannity.
Have you been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic spine conditions? Are you ready to find lasting relief? Call Laser Spine Institute, the nation's leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery.
Call 1-800-656-BACK now for your no-cost MRI review.
Take your first step in joining over 60,000 patients who found lasting relief at Laser Spine Institute.
My boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-800-656-BACK now for your no-cost MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
2 Navy commanders now facing criminal charges in connection with that deadly crash of 2 ships off the Asian coast last year. 2 sailors died when the USS McCain collided with an oil tanker in August, and 7 others are killed on the USS Fitzgerald when it hit a commercial ship in June. The former commanders of both vessels, Bryce Benson and Alfredo Sanchez, are being charged with negligent homicide.
A former CIA officer now under arrest. He's been accused of illegally retaining classified information and reportedly leaking that information to China. Doug McKelway joins us live from Washington. It appears, Doug, the Bureau has been tracking this former agent for a number of years now.
That's right, Sandra. Their investigation of 53-year-old Jerry Chun-Shing Lee began as early as 2012, 6 years ago. It was then that the CIA retiree had traveled back to the United States and to Virginia from his home in Hong Kong with a 3-day stopover in Honolulu. In Hawaii and in Virginia, FBI agents armed with search warrants entered his hotel rooms, searched through his suitcases, and photographed 2 small notebooks with 49 pages of handwritten entries that contained classified and even top secret information. including the locations, telephone numbers, and real names of CIA informants and undercover agents operating in China. It was the same information that Chun-Shing Lee was privy to before he retired from the CIA in 2007. It appears that that information was provided to Chinese authorities, who then began the process of disassembling the CIA's U.S. human intelligence network in China. The New York Times today said, quote, "The collapse of the spy network was one of the American government's worst intelligence failures in recent years." Chun-Shing Lee was arrested on Monday at Kennedy Airport in New York. He made his first appearance in Brooklyn federal court Tuesday and is now awaiting transfer to federal court in Virginia. Sandra?
Doug, why did authorities wait so long to arrest this retired CIA agent when they knew what he was up to 6 years ago?
You know, that's a question for former CIA Director John Brennan, who was in charge of the agency at the time this was going on. We can only speculate. It may be that the damage was done by the time the CIA began to see its undercover operations in China fall apart. It may be that once compromised, they trailed Chun-Shing Lee in an effort to find out who his contacts were so as to infiltrate his operation. But we also know that he knew that he was being trailed. The FBI interviewed him on 5 occasions between May and June of 2013, during which he never acknowledged possession of the notebooks with all that classified information. Sandra?
All right, Doug McKelway, thank you.
There are disturbing new details emerging from inside a home in Southern California. What police are now saying about what they found when they arrived at the scene there. Plus, there is this today.
Data indicates that the president is currently very healthy and that he will remain so for the duration of his presidency.
The White House doctor telling reporters the president is in excellent health, but many of them not accepting his diagnosis. Our panel takes up the debate. But first, here's Eric Trump on his father's health.
Think about the question, does he eat ice cream? I mean, this is insane. Like, where is the coverage of the economy at 26,000? Where is the coverage of unemployment being the lowest ever?
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Maybe it's time for Otezla, a Premolast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable after just 4 months, with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your dermatologist about Otezla today. Otezla, show more of you.
Peeling hard-boiled eggs is such a hassle. It takes forever and makes such a mess. Now make hard-boiled eggs the fast and easy way. Introducing Egglets, the new silicone sensation that lets you cook hard-boiled eggs without the shell. Just crack open the egg into the Egglets pod, twist on the top, and boil on your stovetop. In minutes, pop them out of the pod for perfect hard-boiled eggs. No hassle, no mess. The secret is the thermodynamic non-stick silicone material that allows the egg to cook just like it would inside the shell. No broken egg whites and no peeling. Now that's appealing. Make delicious deviled eggs, tasty egg salad. Make a mouth-watering chef salad without ever peeling an egg. Crack, boil, and pop with Egglets for perfect hard-boiled eggs every time. And Egglets is great for soft-boiled eggs too. Add cheese, onions, mushrooms, peppers, all your favorite vegetables for delicious omelets. Make an egg white omelet or use egg substitutes for healthy cholesterol-free food. Create fun-filled breakfast the little ones will love. Make Egglets in advance and store in the fridge. Ideal for breakfast on the go or a power-packed snack. Easy to clean, dishwasher-safe Egglets. Don't waste your time picking and peeling hard-boiled shells. Now just crack, boil, and pop with Egglets for perfect hard-boiled eggs without the hassle. Get your trio of Egglets for just $14.99. But wait, call now and we'll double your offer and give you 3 more Egglets absolutely free. With your order, you'll get the Egglets Recipe Guide. That's 6 egglets and the recipe guide for only $14.99. And in this exclusive TV offer, you'll get the microwave egg cooker to make on-the-go egg muffins in just minutes. You get it all for $14.99. So don't wait. Order today.
To order your egglets, call 1-800-713-6135. That's 1-800-713-6135. Or you can visit online at getegglets.com. That's getegglets.com. Don't delay. Call or click today.
9:31 here in New York. New details now emerging from inside that home in Southern California after a 17-year-old girl escaped and provided evidence to police of the conditions inside that home. She and her 12 siblings would still be suffering. Police finding the home was used by the parents of 13. A social service director applauding that girl's bravery just yesterday. Listen.
I am immensely grateful for the young child being willing to make that call to 911. Otherwise, we would not have had the opportunity to intervene. And we want to highlight the importance the community plays in providing us with information about abuse and neglect.
As police continue to sift through that evidence, the parents, shown here, David and Louise Turpin, remain in jail on $9 million bail, facing charges of torture and child endangerment.
President Donald Trump getting a clean bill of health from the White House doctor. Mr. Trump even taking an unrequired cognitive exam, which he also passed. But that was not good enough for all those reporters in the room who continued to grill the doctor for an hour during a Q&A session. Listen.
He continues to enjoy the significant long-term cardiac and overall health benefits that come from a lifetime of abstinence from tobacco and alcohol. We discussed diet, exercise, and weight loss. He would benefit from a diet that is lower in fat and carbohydrates and from a routine exercise regimen. Data indicates that the president is currently very healthy and that he will remain so for the duration of his presidency.
Can you assess the president's mental fitness for office?
An incident recently where the president appeared to slur his words while giving an address. Did you look into what the cause of that might have been at all?
He would be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. Do you agree with that assessment?
How a guy who eats McDonald's and fried chicken and all those Diet Cokes and who never exercises is in as good a shape as you say he's in.
Let's bring in our panel. Dr. Mark Siegel is a professor of medicine for the NYU Langone Medical Center and a Fox News contributor. Brad Blakeman is a former deputy assistant to President George W. Bush. And Richard Fowler is a radio talk show host and Fox News contributor. We'll start with the doctor first. I heard you sighing as you heard those questions from reporters. Here, a doctor stood up, the White House doctor, gave the president a clean bill of health, but they were relentless with their questions.
First of all, Dr. Jackson is incredibly credentialed. He's an emergency room physician. He served in Iraq. He served at a trauma unit in Iraq. He was President Obama's doctor. He worked with President Bush as well. He's as nonpartisan as they come. He talked for an hour and then all of these questions. He said his heart is in great shape. He had an extensive stress test, an echocardiogram, a CAT scan of the chest. He actually submitted to a very extensive cognitive test called the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Test. That
the president volunteered himself for that.
He scored 30 out of 30 at the age of 71, which I do not think I could do. And then the most important thing of all, the psychiatric assessment, the doctor gave a very smart answer to that. He said, I spend almost every day with the president. Sandra, you know how you assess psychiatric behavior? By spending time with someone. It's not really something you can test. So he put his own reputation on the line here. And I think that he did, I think the media is doing a real disservice here to people with real mental illness and real cognitive issues and real dementia by targeting the president and making it seem like it's a diminishment of some kind.
And I know you have a piece in USA Today, an op-ed on just that, your concerns as far as that. But Brad, when you looked at members of the media in that room yesterday, almost an hour long those questions went. The president did say, the White House said that the president said, go out there, answer all their questions. But it appeared the members of the media were disappointed at what they found.
There's no doubt. They looked absolutely perplexed and beside themselves, and we're peppering the doctor for an hour with questions. Are you sure he's okay? Are these levels correct? Did the president tell you to say anything that you shouldn't say to us? Are you prohibited from reporting things? The doctor laid it all out, and I'll tell you, after working for several presidents, this is unprecedented. Usually a one-page document, and at best is turned out to the media after the presidential physical, and it's very generic. It's the president is in good health, and he'll have another exam next year. The fact that they went before the cameras and answered every question to exhaustion to a dissatisfied press corps is really something and telling, and the doctor hit it right on the head. This isn't the kind of thing that the president should have to go through.
Richard, most of those reporters seemed upset they weren't able to get anything on this president. Was this a good strategy for President Trump?
I think it was a good strategy for the president to do a drop-dead press conference by his doctor and answer every question possible about the president's health. Really puts this issue to bed. Does it mean that he's going to stop tweeting? No. Does it mean he's going to stop acting erratic? Probably not. But it does say that he's in good health, even though he needs to sort of ease off the cheeseburgers and the Diet Cokes. But I think this was definitely a good move by the White House. And this is a bright spot in what has been a really, really, really bad weekend and an overall bad week for the president, given what he said in the Oval Office last week Friday, given that there's a likely government shutdown coming at the end of this week. So the president gets a good mark for this particular performance.
It's really interesting, Doctor, because in your piece, you actually go on to say that the president, just based on his history, lack of alcohol use, cigarette smoking, vigor on the golf course, could have predicted the outcome of this medical testing.
Add to that low blood pressure. And I also think it's a moment of great hope for Americans out there who maybe don't exercise enough, who maybe don't eat right. You can still improve. You can still, which is what Dr. Jackson said President Trump should do. Start walking that golf course now. Get rid of the golf cart. Start exercising regularly. Lose some weight. Improve your diet. Because already with your genetics, your low blood pressure, your low cholesterol, which you can bring down further, and again, not smoking and not drinking, you're already ahead of the curve. Now, the last two presidents, Sandra, exercised vigorously. They were role models for exercise and fitness. President Trump can still do that. In the meantime, for those couch potatoes out there, this is a good moment.
I do believe he was also asked in that room yesterday, Brad, by one of the reporters. The doctor was asked, so is he the healthiest president ever to live? The doctor declined to compare him to any previous president's health. But does this put the issue over the president's health to rest, Brad?
It should. This exhaustive report on the president, including diagnostics, should absolutely put it to bed. And if anything, I would challenge any reporter in that room to take the same kind of test that the president went through, even half his age, and try and get the kind of scores this president did. And if I were the president today, I would take the entire press corps to McDonald's and have a full Big Mac, supersized meal as a thank you for their behavior yesterday.
The only thing I will add to that, Sandra, is the reason why I think the press corps was chomping at the bit was because his other doctor, when he was running for office, sort of released this glittery letter talking about he is the healthiest person and he's the healthiest president that ever lived, which is why people in the press corps sort of gave this health report a side eye. Now they no longer have to do that because a doctor who's well credentialed has said that the president's healthy. Now we can focus on the fact that he tweets too much and he drinks too many Diet Cokes.
So, Doctor, I'll leave this with you. So put this to rest. Is there anything you learned yesterday in the report, both on the cognitive side and the physical side of this president? Anything left that concerns you?
He needs a little more vitamin D. He's got to increase his Crestor to lower his cholesterol further. I want him to exercise. But what I learned most disturbingly yesterday was you have this physician trained in Iraq, in the Iraq theater. There's nobody that you could point to that's more credentialed to be doing this, and he's grilled for over an hour. That was deeply disturbing, and it's time for the media to cut that out. This is an embarrassing moment for the news media.
My goodness. All right, good discussion, guys. Thanks to all of you for being here.
I like Brad's idea.
Yeah.
Straight to KFC we go.
Yes.
Original recipe. Side biscuit. All right, now the markets are open. We are in rarefied air. Check it out. 940 in New York, and the Dow hitting 26,000 yesterday. So what about today, and how long can this last? We'll check that out with Marie in a moment. Plus, there is this today.
A shootout with police in Baltimore caught on camera and showing what our brave men and women in blue deal with in the field. What led to this firefight.
It's remarkable. Also disgraced doctor Larry Nassar accused of sexual abuse by more than 100 young girls. Among them, several gold medal Olympians, and we're hearing from some of the victims who are now speaking out in court about their case.
Perhaps you have figured it out by now, but little girls don't stay little forever. They grow into strong women that return to destroy your world.
America's top critics are raving. Hostiles is one of the best films of the year. Christian Bale is astounding. It's the finest Western since Unforgiven. Hostiles, rated R. Now playing in select theaters everywhere January 26th.
Dynamic performance, so you can own the road. Aggressive styling, so you can break away from everyone else. The bold Lexus IS. Experience amazing.
I'm Admiral Tom Lynch, chairman of New Day USA. We hear from veterans all across the country. They worry a lot about being in debt and having the money they need for their families. Big credit card balances can add up over time, and now just making the minimum payments can break the family budget. Sound familiar? New Day USA can help.
Our New Day 100 Home Loan for Veterans lets you refinance your mortgage, consolidate your credit card debt, get cash, and lower your payments an average of $640 a month.
With a New Day 100 loan, New Day will even pay for your appraisal. At New Day USA, we understand veterans. My team will take the time to get to know you and look at your total picture. Refinance and take control of your credit card debt. Call New Day USA and get the financial peace of mind that you and your family deserve.
Go to newdayusa.com or call 1-844-329-1572.
When I received the diagnosis, I knew at that exact moment, whatever it takes, wherever I have to go, I'm beating this. My main focus was to find a team of doctors that work together.
When a patient comes to CTCA, they're meeting a team of physicians that specialize in the management of cancer.
Breast cancer treatment is continuing to evolve, and I would say that CTCA is definitely on the cusp of those changes.
Patients can be overwhelmed. We really focus on taking the time with each individual patient so that they can choose the treatment appropriate for them.
The care that CTCA brings is the kind of care I've always wanted for my patients. Being able to spend time with them, have a whole team to look after them is fantastic.
I empower women with choices. And it's not just picking a surgeon, it's picking the care team and feeling secure where you are.
Surround yourself with a team of breast cancer experts at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Visit cancercenter.com/breast. Appointments available now.
It's so easy to go off track because nobody is helping you.
I was making poor decisions on my own.
Jenny Craig proves one-on-one support works, and now our program works faster. Introducing Rapid Results. Lose up to 16 pounds in just 4 weeks. Get the support of a weight loss expert.
They're there to help you.
Enjoy chef-crafted food.
The program worked.
Get Rapid Results for $16 plus the cost of food. Hurry, call now.
Emotional impact statements continuing today in a Michigan courtroom. Victims speaking out about sexual abuse at the hands of USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar ahead of his sentencing. Nassar pleaded guilty in November to 7 counts of criminal sexual misconduct, and now some of those girls are testifying against him.
I've looked into my parents' hardened eyes, seeing their pain from now knowing that their only child was molested right in front of them in the same room.
I listened to you tell me no one should ever do that, and if they do, you should tell someone. Well, Larry, I'm here, not to tell someone, but to tell everyone.
Olympic gymnasts Simone Biles, Allie Reisman, and Gabby Douglas are among the accusers. So is Michaela Maroney. She signed a non-disclosure agreement with USA Gymnastics, but the organization says it'll waive a $100,000 fine if she wants to speak at Nassar's sentencing.
That is remarkable to listen to. Wow, so stocks are up this morning. Check it out on Wall Street, 15 minutes of trading, and we are back yet again, knocking on the door of 26,000 for the Dow, surging yesterday for the first time in what we call rarefied financial air. Closed below, though, that mark. Dropped about 300 points before the close. Maria Bartiromo, host of Mornings with Maria, Sunday Morning Futures. How you doing, Maria? Good morning to you.
Great to see you.
Here's what I want to know.
Okay.
All right, we're going pop, 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 pop. What stops this bull run.
Yeah, there's a lot of momentum in the markets, obviously, Bill. But you know what? I think when you see a decline that you saw yesterday, you have to respect that kind of a decline. You have to say, okay, what changed here? What's going on? Why did we drop so precipitously at the end of the day? It could be that 26,000 is representing some resistance for this market. And there's no question that this market has been going nowhere but straight up now since the election. So you would expect to see some pullback at some point. I would not be surprised to see this market back and fill a little. In other words, go up toward 26,000, come back. Go up, come back.
Well,
because we need more evidence now that the growth is there in terms of earnings and in terms of what this tax bill is going to provide.
That's a great point. The tax bill and the earnings, all that, too. There is the threat of a government shutdown.
Yeah.
I mean, historically, that really is a drag on the markets. I assume they're listening on that.
That's
and
right.
So, too, is Washington.
When you have resistance and a feeling that this market has gone up as much as it has, people look for excuses. The government shutdown may very well be one excuse to sell. Another excuse to sell, and I think this is important for our viewers to keep an eye on, there's a lot of supply coming to this market. In other words, the capital markets, there's action once again. There's going to be M&A, mergers and acquisitions. There's going to be IPOs, a couple of secondary offerings. When you get more supply, more deals coming to market, and you don't have any more demand, supply demand, pretty easy stuff. So you also want to look at the supply coming to the market. But this government shutdown, if we were to see it, that's a perfect excuse to say, you know what, I've made $7.5 trillion since the election. Let me take some chips off the table.
I got it. So we'll watch that. Also watch this, and that's jobs and unemployment. The president was touting minority employment in America today. He said this yesterday.
Black unemployment is the best it's ever been in recorded history. It's been fantastic, and it's the best number we've had with respect to black unemployment. We've never seen anything even close, so we're very honored by that. And our country is doing very well.
So we took that comment and we did our own research. Here's what we found on screen. Unemployment statistics for 2017, December, 6.8% for African Americans. Hispanics, same month, same year, 4.9%.
Wow.
That's low.
These are very good numbers, Bill, and it is an indication of what's really going on in the economy. And by the way, when you look at markets, what's driving markets really are the fundamentals. So as long as we do have a fundamental story in place, like the lowest level of black unemployment that we've seen in so long, like job creation, 2 million over the last year, you're going to continue to see profits rise, and that's going to be a pretty good bid under the market. So even if we were to see a decline, like I said, there is some resistance here, longer term, you look at things like what you just showed, that minority unemployment, job creation in general, earnings growth, that ultimately supports longer-term stocks. We are right now in the middle of the fourth quarter earnings season, and before this tax legislation passed, people were looking for growth in earnings of 11% for 2018. Because of the tax plan, they're adding on another 12%.
Wow.
So we're looking at a story in 2018 of earnings growth of 23%, Bill. That's very positive.
Incredible. General Motors came out with a lot of good news yesterday as well about what they think can be forecast for the next 2 years' time.
The auto sector's doing very well.
You know, I think about that unemployment number, and I think about, supply and demand that you talk about, and you talk about immigration reform and the need for labor in America.
Very good point.
Because I'm starting to hear these, construction companies say, you know what, we're looking for employees. And I think the danger there is that could undercut a lot of this growth right now if you need to pay employees a lot more money, because that's going to drive up costs.
That's a very good point, and that's exactly the conversation that we're going to be having over the next year. Inflation and wages. How hot is too hot?
26,000 is pretty hot for now. Thank you, Maria.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow morning, okay, on Fox Business.
Thanks.
Okay. Here's Sandra.
Sure is. All right. Well, Ann Curry giving her first sit-down interview since leaving NBC. What she is saying about her former Today Show co-host, Matt Lauer, and the accusations that led him to be fired.
Also, President Trump wanted to beef up border security, you know that, but the agency that patrols the border is finding it tough to keep people on the job. Why is that? Live report coming up to answer that question next.
At the end of the day, from my perspective, I would rather the jump seat next to me be empty than have an individual that's potentially corrupt.
Do you have a life insurance policy you no longer need or can't afford? Now you can sell your policy for an immediate payment.
We bought life insurance when our kids were young, to protect their future.
Our young has just turned 40, and we no longer needed the coverage.
That got us to thinking about letting our policy go. So I did some research and called Coventry Direct. I learned that you could sell all or part of a life insurance policy, even a term life policy. Turns out, people have been selling policies like ours for the past 15 years. Who knew? We sold our policy. Now we have money to help with the medical bills.
And to add to our retirement.
If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may be a candidate to sell your policy. Call 1-800-471-6800 or visit CoventryDirect.com for a free information packet. 1-800-471-6800. Coventry Direct, redefining insurance.
A Sean Kelly exclusive. It's a special look inside the president's agenda, straight from the White House Chief of Staff. Brett has the interview you can't miss tonight.
It was getting to be a struggle to get in and out of the tub.
Yeah, we were really worried about falling.
And we needed a solution to stay safe in our own home.
So we got an American Standard walk-in bath.
American Standard is celebrating over 140 years in business with our best offer on our Liberation walk-in baths.
They have a lifetime warranty on the bath, the installation, including the labor. I've never heard of that before.
American Standard has the only walk-in bath with over 20 comfort and safety features, including an ultra-low entryway, 44 massaging jets to help relieve aches and pains, and our patented quick drain technology, which drains your bath in less than 2 minutes. Other brands can leave you sitting in the cold. So call now for your free information kit. For a limited time, get $1,500 in savings, including a free American Standard right height toilet.
Don't delay. Call 1-800-509-3444 for your free information kit and $1,500 in savings, including a free toilet. That's 1-800-509-3444.
So I lose my dental insurance when I retire?
That's right, George. Our plan just doesn't cover retirees.
Every year, millions of Americans lose their dental insurance. And with the high cost of dental care, they simply can't afford to go to the dentist. If you're without coverage for whatever reason, you should give us a call. For as little as $1 a day, you can get dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. Call now and we'll send you this free information kit. We help pay for more than 350 covered procedures. Things like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. There are no networks and no deductibles. We all know dental bills can be expensive, so coverage like this has never been more important. Don't stop seeing your dentist, because that can lead to bigger problems down the road. Get the dental care you deserve. Call now for your free information kit with all the details about this affordable dental insurance. Don't wait. Call now.
President Trump calling for more border security as part of his immigration plan, but Fox News is learning about a potential manpower crisis for the Border Patrol, which is losing twice as many agents as it hires. William LaJeunesse is live in Nogales, Arizona with more. Good morning to you.
Hey, Sandra, you know, security at the border may begin with a wall. That's because whenever the agency erects a fence, it does reduce illegal immigration. But right now, the challenge for the agency is attracting the manpower to back it up.
The extreme nature appealed to me. Where I'm from is pretty flat.
Raised in a small Indiana town, Stephen Engels joined the Border Patrol 2 years ago.
Stopping people from crossing the border and the secondary aspect of stopping narcotics, all of that appealed to me.
After 6 months at the academy, which included deadly force training, the agency sent Engels to Nogales, Arizona.
It doesn't matter why they crossed or for what purpose they came here. What they did was illegal, and we're paid to uphold the law.
Finding the next Engels is a challenge for the Border Patrol. Starting salary of an agent, $49,000. The patrol is down 1,800 agents, and the president wants 5,000 more. 65% fail the polygraph. Hiring one agent takes 133 applicants and 9 months.
In many cases, we are going after the same applicants that a lot of law enforcement agencies are.
Hiring new agents is one problem. Keeping experienced ones is another.
It is an employment crisis. We're losing more agents than we're hiring.
We've got to get better at looking at different retention initiatives.
Manpower, technology, fencing. Since 2001, Homeland Security doubled the number of agents and added almost 700 miles of pedestrian and vehicle barriers, mostly in Tucson and Yuma, El Centro, and San Diego. Apprehensions fell by more than 90%.
It reduced the amount of traffic, the flow, migration, and drugs that was coming across the border.
If Congress does give the agency more money, they'll replace some old fence, fill some gaps with a new wall, but also put in retention bonuses to stop that brain drain, Sandra. One thing they can't stop or change is working in remote areas of the U.S. in typically extreme conditions.
What a story. All right. William LaJeunesse, thank you.
As we continue to monitor that situation on the border, the AG Jeff Sessions making it clear he believes we need to monitor exactly who comes into the country.
President Trump has said we have immigration, we want immigration, but we want to vet these people. We want to know who they are and make sure they're going to be productive people.
Well, that was from last night. This morning, we're now hearing that both sides could be breaking some ground on an immigration deal. What we're now learning about a potential Oval Office meeting today. So stay tuned for that coming up next.
Psoriatic arthritis tries to get in my way. Watch me.
I've tried lots of things for my joint pain. Now, watch me.
Think I'd give up showing these guys how it's done? Please.
Real people with active psoriatic arthritis are changing the way they fight it. They're moving forward with Cosentyx. It's a different kind of targeted biologic. It's proven to help people find less joint pain and clearer skin. Don't use if you are allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting Cosentyx, you should be checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of an infection, or if you have received a vaccine or plan to. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, tell your doctor if symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
With less joint pain, watch me.
For less joint pain and clearer skin, ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
It's time to drop all those unhealthy pounds that have been weighing you down.
I'm Michelle, and I dropped 41 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Introducing new for 2018, Turbo 13, our best program ever. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. Lose weight fast, money back guaranteed.
I'm Marie, and I dropped 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day plan right now, and we'll rush you Turbo 13 with specially designed meals. Plus 1 week of all new NutriCurb bars to curb cravings free. 1 week of Turbo Shakes to help shrink your belly free. And 1 week of all new Turbo Boosters to rev your metabolism free.
79 pounds down.
Call or go online in the next 2 minutes, and we'll even throw in FedEx shipping free. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month.
If I can do it, you can do it. Join me in the millions of people who have lost weight with Nutrisystem.
Go online or call 888-652-SIZE right now and get Turbo 13 with bars, shakes, and turbo boosters free.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $15 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one.
I picked this simple phone.
I use my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change. Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch to Consumer Cellular. And with our 30-day risk-free guarantee, it's easy. Call 1-800-691-0121. Go online or visit a Target store today.
The Russia investigation reaching full speed on Capitol Hill as lawmakers question President Trump's closest advisors. Former campaign manager Corey Lewandowski up today after Steve Bannon spent 12 hours behind closed doors yesterday. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Sandra Smith. Good morning.
What do you do for 12 hours?
That's a long time.
It sure is. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Lewandowski's appearance coming one day after former chief strategist Steve Bannon refused to answer some of their questions claiming executive privilege. Committee member Trey Gowdy, earlier on America's Newsroom, not too happy with that disposition, said this.
Keep in mind, the president and some of his supporters want Congress to hurry up and conclude these investigations. So do I. The best way to do that is to instruct witnesses to answer our questions instead of going through this charade of executive privilege.
Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is live in Washington this morning. Catherine, what have you learned about yesterday's testimony, that lengthy one, by Bannon?
Well, thanks, Sandra. Late yesterday, the senior Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, called out Steve Bannon, who spent all day on Capitol Hill in front of their committee. A source with knowledge of the session said Bannon's attorney told lawmakers the White House directed him not to answer questions about his time in the White House or during the transition. Schiff said the move is designed to silence Bannon and protect the White House.
This was effectively a gag order by the White House, preventing this witness from answering almost any question concerning his time in the transition or the administration, and many questions even after he left the administration.
Democrats want answers about the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with Russian nationals that include the president's son, son-in-law, former campaign chairman, among others, and why Bannon called it treasonous. The committee took the unusual step of issuing a subpoena on the spot yesterday for Bannon. Fox News is told Bannon still refused to answer questions but did not take the fifth, telling lawmakers to resolve the impasse with White House lawyers. This frustrated both sides of the aisle, with the White House press secretary defending the advice.
We've been completely cooperative throughout this entire process. We're going to continue to be cooperative, but we're also going to maintain some of the executive privileges here at the White House that have been practiced for decades.
The president's former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, is expected later today, along with another campaign aide, Rick Dearborn. Sandra.
Catherine, we expect Lewandowski's session to be very different, right?
Well, on Fox, the former Trump campaign manager said he's going to answer every question.
All they've said to me is to prepare to go in and answer questions. I'm going to answer every question truthfully, honestly, to the best of my ability and to the best of my recollection. But because I have nothing to hide, I'm looking forward for this opportunity to help finally bring this to a close.
According to a senior Republican on the House Intelligence Committee, lawmakers are recalling Bannon for tomorrow, the same day former FBI Director James Comey's chief of staff, James Rybicki, is scheduled to appear. Rybicki really matters because he was part of Comey's inner circle, and he was copied on that May 2016 draft statement that recommended against criminal charges in the Clinton email case. Sandra.
All right, Catherine Herridge, thank you for your reporting.
You're welcome.
In the meantime, watch the clock because it is ticking now on getting an immigration deal done before the government shutdown deadline late on Friday night. Lawmakers have just about 3 days now to avoid this shutdown. That could prove tricky as Democrats hold out for a deal for the so-called Dreamers and conservatives signal that they could get in the way of another stopgap funding measure. So you've got a lot of things going on. Mike Emanuel's watching it all on the Hill. And Mike, good day to you. What is now the idea to keep the government open beyond Friday?
Well, Bill, this proposal would essentially allow more time for long-term budget negotiations and also to work on immigration. The proposal would keep government open for another 28 days. It would reauthorize the Children's Health Insurance Program for another 6 years. It would delay implementation of the medical device tax and other taxes related to health care. A senior Republican involved in budget and appropriations says the plan has items most folks should support.
And I think it's going to be much tougher for them with the CHIP solution on there, with Cadillac tax, with medical device, with ballistic missile defense. If you want to vote against all that, I guess you can.
Yet some conservatives in the House Freedom Caucus are clearly hoping they can negotiate a better deal. Here's the proposal they're floating.
Congressman Jordan's plan that he put out about funding the military for a full year, along with a CR for the balance, seem to get overwhelming support of our members.
That may appeal to the national security hawks, but it may also complicate matters with Democrats, who, of course, want more spending on domestic priorities.
I don't know why he's whispering, Mike. What are Democrats saying at this stage?
Well, they're saying essentially that the idea of another 4-week extension is a lousy idea. This would be the fourth stopgap measure since October 1st. They're pushing for immigration now. Here's a sample of their side of the story.
There is no reason that any short-term deal should exclude the Dreamers. There's a bipartisan compromise supported by the vast majority of the American people. And I'll vote against a short-term spending bill, the fourth in as many months, because it simply kicks the can down the road. It holds hostage not only the Dreamers, but also defense spending.
A lot of people are frustrated, saying this is not a way to run a government by 4-week extensions at a time, but bottom line, a lot of folks say it's not a reason to shut down the government. Bill.
Thank you, Mike. Watch it. Mike Emanuel live on the Hill. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
For more on this, let's bring in Guy Benson, political director for townhall.com and Fox News contributor. There's a lot changing, and there's a lot we're learning about what happened last week that did seem to change so much on this guy. When you look at Lindsey Graham saying, what happened? What changed between that Tuesday meeting where everybody seemed to get along and then that Thursday meeting in the Oval Office on DACA? There was clearly some changes that led to the president not liking what he saw.
Definitely, and I think perhaps one of the changes was he got a better view of the compromise that was struck between Lindsey Graham and Dick Durbin, which apparently excluded a number of the principals who were part of that working group, this leadership working group, to get a final compromise together, including some more conservative Republicans. So apparently the deal that now the text we're starting to see specifically what is in it, strikes me as someone who's, again, I'm pretty moderate on immigration. I am pro-reform. I am pro-DREAM Act. But I'm also in favor of securing the borders. And just skimming through it this morning, I kept shaking my head wondering, where's the actual border security component of this? It seems like a lot of smoke and mirrors in exchange for a pretty broad amnesty, not just for the Dreamers, but some legal status for their parents as well. I think it's going to be a very tough sell in its current form for many, many Republicans.
I mean, what we're learning happened on that Thursday morning. It's interesting stuff. Dick Durbin called up the president. He said, we've come to an agreement. The president says, come on over. Lindsey Graham's going to come on over with Dick Durbin. Chief of Staff John Kelly headed over to meet with Graham and Durbin to talk about this. And then Kelly quickly discovered that the plan was not an agreement between the four principals,
right,
Cornyn, Durbin, McCarthy, and Hoyer, but rather they learned it was something that Graham and Durbin cooked up, and it did not address the president's principal demands in a meaningful way.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the problem. My suspicion, and I was not in the room, obviously, but it seems like the reporting that we're getting indicates that the president thought that this was an agreement among those four principals that you just named, Sandra. It wasn't. It was kind of a side deal based on a couple ideas from various senators that they then said, great, we've got something. It wasn't a finalized deal. John Cornyn, the #2 Senate Republican, has been throwing cold water on this thing. And again, the White House asked for $18 billion to build the wall in their budget request. This deal gives just a tiny fraction of that, and not even for a wall. It doesn't hire more Border Patrol agents. It really seems woefully insufficient in the category of enforcement. And the whole point to me, Sandra, is if you're going to create an amnesty for hundreds of thousands rather, of Dreamers, plus potentially millions of their relatives, including their parents, that is an incentive for future illegal immigration. We learned that in the border crisis a few years ago with the unaccompanied minors. When you give an amnesty in law, people recognize that and react accordingly. You have to mitigate the effect by securing a border that clearly is not secure at this point. And based on what we're reading of the supposed compromise, it does not go anywhere near to the extent that it ought to in order to strike an appropriate balance.
And furthermore, Fox News is learning that what has transpired with Lindsey Graham has really hurt his relationship with the president and with the chief of staff, John Kelly. I want to show everyone Attorney General Jeff Sessions last night really going off on all of this resistance to these reforms on Tucker Carlson. Listen.
They need to look at the proposal that House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Goodlatte has proposed. That will work. It will end the illegality, make a tremendous progress toward ending illegality, and make the system work better. That's what the American people want. And the objectors, the sanctuary cities, the New Jersey policy you just talked about, those are policies that favor illegality. They subsidize illegality. They encourage illegality. American people are sick of that.
They encourage illegality. Jeff Sessions really fired up last night.
Yeah, well, I think if you look at sanctuary city policies, it does. That's exactly what those policies do. And we talk about being a pro-immigration nation, which we are. We're a nation of immigrants. I totally can get behind that. But we have to draw the distinction between legal immigration and illegal immigration and take reasonable steps to deter the latter. And part of that involves reorganizing and reforming our entire immigration system and moving closer to a merit-based system, which makes absolute sense for our national interests. It's not racist. It's not crackpot. It's not crazy. They do it in Canada. They do it in Great Britain. This is common sense stuff. And it does drive me nuts sometimes when, we're hearing, oh, we need a clean DREAM Act. Okay, how about a clean Border Security Act?
Right.
They would never agree to that. Neither party is going to see eye to eye. There has to be an agreement where both sides get something meaningful.
The countdown is on, that's for sure.
Yep.
Deadline is quickly approaching. Guy Benson, good to see you this morning.
Thanks, Andrew.
11 past the hour. Homeland Security sending a warning to sanctuary cities.
My question is whether DHS is currently working with the Justice Department to bring Section 8 U.S.C. 1324 charges or any criminal charges against state or local officials.
I believe the request was made.
So that warning coming as immigration authorities now said to be planning a massive sweep of illegals in sanctuary zones. Should state and city leaders also face arrest? We will debate that question.
For sure. Only a few days to go now for Congress to pass a budget putting military funding at stake. Congressman Mac Thornberry, chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. He will join us live. Plus, there is this.
This is some dramatic new video after police get into a shootout at a 7-Eleven. We'll tell you how this turned out in moments.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Lincoln will do it! Where is he? Shoot at
The world's largest investment bank purchased $300 million of gold for their own account. What do they know that you don't? Investors are snapping up gold. This commodity is on the verge of an epic comeback. Gold and silver, opportunity of a lifetime.
We're seeing a lot of very big, very smart money move into precious metals. They get it. They know what's coming.
Call now and get this exclusive video. See why banks, billionaires, and financial experts are buying gold.
The richest guys who know what they're talking about, like Dalio and those guys, they're shifting into gold now.
Call Lear Capital at 1-800-452-5050 for your free video and special report, Banks, Billionaires, and Plan B. First-time callers receive this 1-gram gold-plated bar free.
Everybody should have gold in their portfolio.
Get your free information and ask how you can receive up to $600 in free gold. Call 1-800-452-5050. 1-800-452-5050. Call now.
Olay Regenerist shatters the competition, hydrating skin better than prestige creams costing over $100, $200, and even $400. For skin that looks younger than it should. Fact check this ad in Good Housekeeping. Olay Regenerist, ageless.
You take care of business. Let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. And this week only, all PCs are on sale. Save $250 off this HP laptop. Plus, protect your investment with an accidental protection plan. Office Depot Office Max. OfficeDepot.com.
I cannot imagine managing my diabetes without my Dexcom.
This is the Dexcom G5 Mobile Continuous Glucose Monitoring System. A small wearable sensor measures your glucose every 5 minutes and sends the data to a Dexcom receiver.
I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in control now.
With the Dexcom G5 Mobile, you always know the direction and speed your glucose is heading, something a fingerstick can't tell you. And it's easy to see your trend line.
With Dexcom, I know where I'm heading and I can take action without pricking my finger.
Dexcom is just really easy to use, and I have the confidence that I have all kinds of customer support.
Dexcom helps lower A1C and improves quality of life. If you're over 65 and you have diabetes, you should have a Dexcom.
The Dexcom G5 Mobile is the only CGM covered by Medicare.
If you get a Dexcom, you're going to be very glad that you did.
Visit DexcomNow.com to learn more and ask your doctor for a prescription for a Dexcom G5 Mobile.
Meeting people is my life. I had to be careful how wide I would open my mouth because I was embarrassed to show my teeth. It was time to do something for myself that was going to be permanent.
The Clear Choice one-day approach is making dental implants a reality for people all over the country who suffer from missing or failing teeth.
I felt like I was the most important person on earth to them.
Bill came in, bad teeth, discomfort, pain. We needed to get him into a smile that he felt confident in. We have expertise that you might not find anywhere else, all in one location.
The next day, I had a new smile. Couldn't wait to show some folks. It's amazing what a smile can do for a person.
Discover why this is so much more than another dental procedure. It's a true life changer. With over 30,000 new smiles and counting, we're lifting spirits and confidence all over America. Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options.
I'm eating corn on the cob. I had the best smile I'd ever had in my life.
Call Clear Choice today.
Let me show you this robbery here that turned into an intense shootout with the police overnight. All that video is captured on a body camera. Watch here. This is in Baltimore, where police released this body cam video capturing the moment the gun battle began. Wow, it happened at a 7-Eleven, rattling the downtown area around 1 o'clock in the morning. 2 suspects still at large after they escaped on foot, and the officers, well, they took cover.
The Justice Department now considering a plan to bring criminal charges against local and state officials enforcing sanctuary policies. The Homeland Security Secretary confirming it yesterday.
My question is whether DHS is currently working with the Justice Department to bring Section 8 U.S.C. 1324 charges or any criminal charges against state or local officials.
I believe the request was made. The Department of Justice is reviewing what avenues might be available. The context of this is, of course, not only putting my ICE officers at risk, but also finding an efficient and effective way to enforce our immigration laws.
Ben Kissel is a radio talk show host and political commentator. Lawrence Jones is a TV and radio host for The Blaze. And they are 2 very tall men, by the way. Good to have both of you this morning. Serious stuff here. What do you make of all this, Lawrence?
Look, it's about time we start enforcing the law. That's the bottom line. Now, we know that there's been liberal activist judges that have allowed immigrants, illegal immigrants, out of the back door of courtrooms when ICE agents were waiting.
And they could still hold this up.
And so I want to see if they're going to fight this, because I think this is going to eventually go to the Supreme Court, and they're going to rule in favor of the Trump administration on this.
This is a big move.
I think it's wrong on 3 different fronts. I think there's a lot of federal overreach here when it comes to states' rights. If these states want to allow for sanctuary cities to exist within their parameters, I think that they have
but that's federal law, though.
Do that. I also think we have an economic risk here. It's very expensive. If you look at housing, if we do detain these inmates in California, it's $75,000 a year to hold an individual. And then I think from the moral perspective, I really do believe we're a nation of immigrants. I believe that diversity brings a lot of great things to this country, and I just don't see it being a moral win for the Republican
Party. Yeah, but Sandra, if states want to make their own immigration policy, then they should attempt to secede from the union.
Well, that's what California is doing right now.
They don't have the authority at this point to decide who comes in this country and who doesn't, because they're states. Well, the federal government has supremacy on this, and I think it's going to be a major constitutional issue when it goes to the Supreme Court, because they simply don't have the right. Whether you're a liberal or a Republican or a conservative on this really isn't up for debate. It's a law right now.
Donald Trump promised, he campaigned on states' rights. He said he was going to be a states' right.
Yeah, but this is not a state right. This is the federal government has jurisdiction over this issue.
We also have the situation involving legalized marijuana, the $8 billion industry that Jeff Sessions says he would like to do away with, which would just send that money right back to the drug cartels. We have the situation happening where 17 states, their 7-Elevens were raided, 21 individuals arrested, and for what?
Yeah, because
do you feel safer?
It's crony capitalism, and if businesses decide to employ illegal immigrants, it is literally hurting the American people right now, and it encourages illegals that they should do it, because when they come here, they'll have a job.
All right, I want to break right in the debate right here, even though it's a good one, but I want to get the words of the acting ICE director, Thomas Homan, who, as you know, talks very tough on this subject. Let's listen.
There's no sanctuary from federal law enforcement. California better hold on tight. They're about to see a lot more special agents, a lot more deportation officers in the state of California. If the politicians in California don't want to protect their communities, then ICE will.
As we're obviously learning that the feds are planning this massive Northern California immigration sweep to strike against these sanctuary laws. Specifically, we're looking, Lawrence, and this is going to be centered in the Bay Area. Reports this could happen within weeks. Yeah. This is a huge move by this administration.
So, Sandra, what we're seeing is ICE traditionally they're on the defense. Now they're going on the offense, and they have the right to do it. They're federal agents. They can raid employers when they have probable cause that they're hiring illegal immigrants, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to go on the offensive now because they have an administration that supports the law, and now they're given the tools to do so.
Let's not forget, Obama was called the deporter-in-chief. This isn't the first administration to be hard on immigration and to be tough on immigrants all across the country. I think from a states' rights perspective, however, he should live up to what he promised and be a states' rights president.
And if that's the case, then why is President Trump being called racist when President Obama did?
Well, he doesn't do himself any favors with the asshole comment and things like that.
Neither one of you are going to give each other last words, so I'm going to end it there.
Be here all night.
Serious discussion, guys. Good to have both of you here.
Back to your corners, fellas, right? You tell them, Sandra. Don't mess with her, gentlemen.
Yes.
For the first time since leaving NBC, Ann Curry is now speaking out. What she is saying about her former employer and the Me Too movement today. It's coming up next.
Plus, Steve Bannon will be back in the hot seat this week after he sat for 12 long hours yesterday. What to expect in round two?
If you're going to accuse somebody of a crime for which you can be put to death, what is your evidence for that?
Your brain changes as you get older, but Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
At Safe Flight Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why we show you exactly when we'll be there, saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer. You've probably seen me running all over the country in search of our big Idaho potato truck. But not anymore. I'm done with that. Hot. Just going to stay home on the farm, eat a beautiful Idaho potato, and watch TV with my dog.
The big Idaho potato truck pulled into town today, and it's really a sight to see.
Oh, man. Let's go. You coming, boy?
Are you hiring great people?
I get more talented people through the door through Indeed than any other job search that I use.
Indeed delivers 6 times more hires than any other job site. Post a job in minutes, and Indeed will help you zero in on just the right candidates. Plus, there are no upfront costs or long-term contracts.
Nothing has ever been this easy, this simple, and this effective.
Right now, start your first job posting with free premium placement. Search for greatness. Indeed, the world's #1 job site.
At Wayfair.com, we think that when the big stuff ships free, it's just better.
Cover better, brunch better, crunch better, rock better, roll better, whoa better, dream better, clean better, yeah, better!
Oh, Wayfair has free shipping. Game changer.
Fast better, free better, everything's better when it's
Get free shipping on orders over $49. Shop better at Wayfair.com.
Wayfair, you've got just what I need.
A Sean Kelly exclusive. It's a special look inside the president's agenda, straight from the White House Chief of Staff. Brett has the interview you can't miss tonight.
If you love your friends and family, give them a meal that will truly be appreciated. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package. Sold separately, this package is filled with $193 worth of great food for the combo price of just $49.99. That's 74% off on this limited time offer. The Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package includes 4 tender top sirloin steaks, 4 extra thick boneless pork chops, 4 oven-roasted chicken breasts, 4 classic juicy Omaha Steaks burgers, and 4 gourmet jumbo franks. Dessert is 4 caramel apple tartlets. Your order will be delivered straight to your home or the destination of your choice to enjoy with friends and family. As a special thanks from us to you, if you order right now, we'll include 4 additional Omaha Steaks burgers free. That's 8 total. You get it all, the Omaha Steaks Savings Celebration Package, a $193 value for just $49.99. Enjoy the lowest pricing of the season with the Savings Celebration Package from Omaha Steaks today.
Republican Senator Jeff Flake is speaking live on the Senate floor right now. Let's listen.
Annihilating such individuals, unquote, who disagreed with the supreme leader. This alone should be the source of great shame for us in this body, especially for those of us in the president's party, for they are shameful, repulsive statements. And of course, the president has it precisely backward. Despotism is the enemy of the people. The free press is the despot's enemy, which makes the free press the guardian of democracy. When a figure in power reflexively calls any press that doesn't suit him fake news, it is that person who should be the figure of suspicion, not the press. I dare say that anyone who has had the privilege and awesome responsibility to serve in this chamber knows that these reflexive slurs of fake news are dubious at best. Those of us who travel overseas, especially to war zones and other troubled areas all around the globe, encounter members of U.S.-based media who risk their lives and sometimes lose their lives reporting on the truth. To dismiss their work as fake news is an affront to their commitment and their sacrifice. According to the International Federation of Journalists, 80 journalists were killed in 2017. A new report from the Committee to Protect Journalists documents that the number of journalists imprisoned around the world has reached 262, which is a new record. This total includes 21 reporters who are being held on false news charges. Mr. President, so powerful is the presidency that the damage done by the sustained attack on the truth will not be confined to this president's time in office. Here in America, we do not pay obeisance to the powerful. In fact, we question the powerful most ardently. To do so is our birthright and a requirement of our citizenship. And so, we know well that no matter how powerful, no president will ever have dominion over objective reality. No politician will ever get us or tell us what the truth is and what it is not. And anyone who presumes to try to attack or manipulate the press for his own purposes should be made to realize his mistake and to be held to account. That is our job here. That is just as Madison, Hamilton, and Jay would have it. Of course, a major difference between politicians and the free press is that the free press usually corrects itself when it's made a mistake. Politicians don't. No longer can we compound the attacks on truth with our silent acquiescence. No longer can we turn a blind eye or a deaf ear to those assaults on our institutions. And, Mr. President, an American president who cannot take criticism, who must constantly deflect and distort and distract, who must find someone else to blame, is charting a very dangerous path. And a Congress that fails to act as a check on the president adds to that danger. Now we are told via Twitter that today the president intends to announce his choice for the, quote, most corrupt and dishonest media awards. It beggars belief that an American president would engage in such a spectacle. But here we are. And so, 2018 must be the year in which the truth takes a stand against power that would weaken it. In this effort, the choice is quite simple. And in this effort, the truth needs as many allies as possible. Together, my colleagues, we are powerful. Together, we have it within us to turn back these attacks, to right these wrongs, repair this damage, restore reverence for our institutions, and prevent further moral vandalism. Together, united in this purpose to do our jobs under the Constitution. Without regard to party or party loyalty, let us resolve to be allies of the truth and not partners in its destruction. It is not my purpose here to inventory all the unofficial untruths of the past year, but a brief survey is in order. Some untruths are trivial, such as a bizarre contention regarding the crowd size at last year's inaugural. But some untruths are not at all trivial, such as the seminal untruth of the president's political career, the oft-repeated conspiracy about the birthplace of President Obama. Also not trivial are the equally pernicious fantasies about rigged elections.